Hey guys, what's up? How ya doing? I'm here to talk to you guys about the new episode of ReZero Season 3 on episode 14 or episode 64 or the total number of episodes. This episode right here was very mixed by the audience and by a lot of fans possibly, maybe because they prefer something else than this kind of episode, but I liked it myself since it was emotional and we get to know a little bit more of the backstory of the family of Teresia. So, if anything else, let's just get this started. When it comes to the fight with Wilhelm and Teresia, they seem to be on par with each other. Well, I'm pretty sure Wilhelm would have been able to beat her if he was very younger and he was in his prime. But as for Teresia, she doesn't look like she aged at all, and of course, she doesn't seem like she's tired at all either, not showing any signs of weakness or fatigue. Unfortunately, Heinkel shows up randomly, and this caused Wilhelm to lose focus, and this gave Teresia the animated corpse to give a nasty leg wound to Wilhelm and ends up going after her son that she can't even recognize because she's controlled by a spell or she's just now an enemy. However, Reinhardt shows up and faces off against her and manages to draw his sword against her, the very sword that will only reveal or face against opponents that is worthy or very threatening. By that time, of course, Reinhardt manages to draw it, and sorry for repeating myself, he ends up killing Teresia or stopping the fight in one cut or sword slash. Then we get to see the backstory of Teresia. She was a very young girl in the family she was born in and was very kind and gentle. That's just how she is. Unfortunately, the powers of the Sword Saint ends up going to her and she manages to beat her brother in a sparring match, which confirms her elder brother's suspicions that she's the next Sword Saint and says, you gotta pick up your sword. And this caused Teresa to be in turmoil or in great conflict with herself because she doesn't want to do this. And it sucks. We don't really know how these things work, but it looks like to me it chooses a random person in the family to become the next Sword Saint because we don't know why or when. It's usually random. I mean, it happened with Teresia one time and it goes to Reinhardt at a young age. You get the idea. Other than that, we get to know more about her family because when she was a sword saint, she refuses to pick up her sword or fight because she doesn't want to spill any blood. She doesn't want to. She doesn't want to cause any harm. That's just the person she is. She's like a pacifist, passive woman, if I even have to say so myself. Unfortunately, she will later on pick up a sword after many of her siblings that she know is killed. Most, if not all, were killed in the war that she could have ended if she fought, because that's just how strong she is. But eventually, she lost them all, and she made a decision to pick up the sword and fight, even though she wishes not to do so. Eventually, that's when she met Wilhelm, and by that time, Wilhelm defeats her and says, you don't have to fight no more. I'll do the fighting for you from now on. By that time, they got married. They have a kid named Heinkel. Heinkel gets married himself and and makes a son, and they have a grandson named Reinhard. But we also get to see Heinkel in a situation where his wife was in a ill or bedridden state, which was shown only in one picture. It was never really explicitly explained of what happened to her. But whatever the case needs to be, we get to see that despite the struggles and bad situations, they were living very happily for many years. Unfortunately, those happy times will later come to an end when Teresia was told to go fight against the White Whale. Eventually, Wilhelm says, hey, you don't have to do this. If anything else, I'm coming with you. But Teresia gives him a shoulder wound, saying that you're not going to come with me. So I want you to stay behind, and I'll come back to you, and you can tell me I love you, okay? That's why I want to hear for many years. Unfortunately, that did not come to pass because the White Whale was powerful. Even though Teresia herself is strong, she lost her powers as a sword saint, and she knows where it goes to, and that's to Reinhardt. By that time, she was knocked out cold. What's even worse, when she woke up, she ends up facing the witch Pandora, which we all know how terrifying she is because we've seen her in Amelia's backstory or past and what she did. And she's almost like immortal. Well, she is immortal if I have to say so myself, or just unkillable. Even though what's even worse, Teresa could not draw the sword herself since her powers left her. That's just how it is. And when Teresa tries to slash Pandora after exchanging a few words, unfortunately, Pandora was not affected. Even though she looked like she was slashed and killed, she ended up going behind Teresa and kills her by possibly saying something. We don't know. But whatever Pandora did, she easily killed Teresa, like not an issue, because she's not the Sword Saint no more. She's just a regular woman that knows how to fight. Then we get to see her, after her backstory ends, we get to see Teresa living her final moments in the love of her life in his arms, and they end up telling each other, "I love you," and she turns to dust. By that time, we get to see a post-credit scene where Heinkel gets really upset and blames Reinhardt for doing such a stupid action for killing his grandmother. Reinhardt's like, "I don't know what you're talking about, because one, she's already dead. Two, her animated corpse she was only alive because of a stupid spell, okay? I have done nothing wrong, and there was no way in heck that she is my grandmother that I struck down." By that time, Heinkel gets really upset about this and was about to possibly cause more drama, and Wilhelm's like, "Stop it, Heinkel, that's enough." By that time, Wilhelm asks Reinhardt, like, "Did you feel regret for cutting down your grandmother?" And Reinhardt's like, "No, because she wasn't alive, and I did what I think was right. She's not my grandmother. She died a long time ago." Of course, Wilhelm seems to agree with what he's trying to say, but unfortunately, I guess Wilhelm was really upset to see how Reinhardt is very cold and aloof and doesn't care, which is understandable, because depending on the point of view of Wilhelm himself, he pretty much is offended by this. Even though he doesn't really show it, he's saddened to see how Reinhardt's like cold and heartless. Eventually, he even calls him Sword Saint Reinhardt, "Just go out there and do your job." And by that time, I guess he doesn't call him grandson no more, because after he heard his answer of him not feeling any remorse for killing his grandmother, I guess that was the last straw, saying like, "You know what, okay, fine, just go, man. I mean, I can't talk to you right now." Same with Heinkel as well. By that time, Heinkel gets upset about this, seeing how it's more broken than ever. So we get to know a little bit of Heinkel. He used to be a good guy. He was very active and cared. I'm pretty sure he cared for his family. But I guess after a certain incident, depending on the situation, he turned into what he is to this day. And honestly, it's kind of despicable, but it's understandable what really happened to him. As for the family drama, which is explicitly shown in here, it's really sucks to see how more broken they are now because of what Heinkel did, which I'm pretty sure he has a reason behind it, even though it's inexcusable. And after Reinhard, like I said, killed his grandmother, I guess it's like they're in many stages of grief. Wilhelm could not kill Teresa even if he wanted to, because that's his wife, and it's understandable. He can't let that love go. And yeah. Anyways, thought the episode was pretty cool. We only got about 2 episodes left, and that means 2 weeks left. So until then, I'll see you guys later. I'm Alpha Zero. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time, alright? Peace out. Bye-bye. Toot-ta-da!